I used to work at this when I was a nurse at my first job at the Erie County Home in New York. I used to work with a bunch of crazy people that like to do a lot of practical jokes and tricks on everyone. There was two females, male nurse, and two male aides. Mike, he was a bodybuilder, so he's this huge guy. I mean, just muscles all over the place. Doug is, he's the nice guy, and he lives with this other guy, and we were doing practical jokes back and forth. And one of them was they took my down jacket and wrapped it up, and it was like a 4x4 ABD pad, like a sterile pad. One of the guys, Mike, threw it at me. He's like, "Here, put this on." And I was like, "What?" So I went and I clipped it, and poof, it just popped open. I'm covered with baby powder, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to get these guys back. They're going to pay for this one." So with the elderly there, they never used Milk and Mag, which would have been a whole lot better than liquid cascara. And it smelled like licorice. I love the smell of it. I wouldn't take it because I know what it would do.
What does it do?
It loosens your bowels. Gives you diarrhea. So I'm thinking, how am I going to get these guys back? Because I wanted to get them all back at the same time. Because I was like, and it had to be the bomb. Because they were all pulling practical jokes on me, and I was just, I was tired of it. So I thought to myself, they like coffee, love to drink coffee. I mean, would go through like 4 or 5 pots in an 8-hour shift. And I was like, man, I can't, how you can drink that stuff and stay up all night? I can't do it. So I had the private hall, and I was finished passing my meds, and I had, of course, had to pass through the nurse's station. I was the only one there in the nursing office, and I took 30 cc's, about a quarter of a cup of liquid cascara, and I put it in the coffee, and then I took a pencil with the eraser and stirred it. Just kind of added measure. And we had a nurse, an RN, that worked with us, and she used to bring in flavored coffee, but they were samples. And then if we wanted, then we would have to buy it from her. I forgot what it was, some triangle or pyramid scheme. So I said, well, this smells like licorice. The nursing office smells like licorice. So they'll thought that it was, something Barb had brought in. So I went back, and oh my gosh, I would try not to laugh, and I had to keep on walking past the nurse's station because they're in there. This coffee's good. And they're just sucking it down. And they went ahead and made another pot. And I'm like, well, they had to leave because they had to do treatments and help put people to bed. So I poured another 30 cc's in there, mixed it up. And they're like, boy, that coffee was good, And they're like, well, where's this flavored coffee that Barb brought in? But, because Barb didn't work that night. I was like, man, I'm going to pay you for this one the next day. I was the only one that showed up for work the next night. And they're like, everybody called off. And I'm like, what? Why? Oh, they just had diarrhea so bad, and they must have caught a bug. I'm trying not to laugh, I was like, well, okay, they pulled other people from different floors, and I tried to show them the ropes. I'm like, yeah, I'm paying for this one. So the next day, they're all tired. They look whipped. And I'm like, what's the matter with you guys? I said, you don't have no pep, no energy. What's up, And they're like, oh, man, you wouldn't believe what happened to me. And they proceed to tell some story of what happened to them. Doug's like, man, he says, I never left the toilet last night. I was either puking or I was coming out the other end. I'm like, man, you guys are I said, get away from me. I said, I won't get near you guys. I don't want to catch a bug you got. So the other 2 girls that drank it, they're like, yeah, they had some diarrhea and this and that. But, the one girl, she went out drinking the previous night, and she was in the bar bathroom pooping her brains out. She couldn't get off. I mean, she couldn't get off the toilet to go home because she said the minute I stood up, it ran through me. And she said finally they told me to, well, why don't you just stay there, and when you get done, we'll wait until you get done. She said, I never left that toilet till 5 o'clock this morning. I said, what do you guys have? I said, oh, don't get near me because I don't be passing it off to my family. Mike, he said, man, he says, I live down, my driveway's long. He says, I couldn't hold it. And I says, what do you mean? What are you talking about? You couldn't hold it? He's like, man, he goes, I jumped out of the car and dropped my nuts. He said, I was there for a good 20 minutes. He said, my wife walked down the road or the driveway to see because he said, I left the lights on. I was like, Mike, are you serious? He goes, I had to throw my uniform out. He goes, I'm like, no way. I had said to them, I says, when I get you back for all these practical jokes, it's when you least expect it. And I had gone back a year later and was visiting some of the residents there that live there, and I had seen Doug, and he's like, yeah, you never got us back. And I said, I sure did. I said, everybody on that floor except me and Barb, I said, I paid you all back. What'd you do? I said, I can't tell you. I can't. I said, because I lose my license. I said, you guys make sure of that. And they're like, what did you do? And I says, think about it. Next time you see me, you think about it long and hard. Think about it. And to this day, they never figured out what practical joke I pulled on them. But I told them, I said, I paid you back, and I paid you back good.